What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the same. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Hey, everybody. This is John Corcoran with Dr. Jeremy Weisz, and this episode is a little bit different. This is a live interview that we recorded at the Global Leadership Conference from Entrepreneurs Organization, where some of the best entrepreneurs from around the globe gathered in Washington, D.C. to share ideas and to learn about entrepreneurship. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25, where we help B2B businesses to give to and to connect to their Dream 100 relationships and partnerships, helping you to run a podcast so that it generates a referral pipeline and ROI.
Yeah, I mean, John, after both of us have been podcasting for over a decade, the number one thing in our life is relationships. And we're always looking at ways to give to our best relationships. And we found no better way to do that over the past decade than to profile the people and companies we admire and shout from the rooftops what they're working on. And this interview is no different. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should go to rise25.com to learn more, or email us at support@rise25.com.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the interview.
Enjoy. Jeremy Weisz here. We're live from EO Global Leadership Summit, and this is brought to you by Rise 25. I'm here with Steve. And Steve, tell people about your company and what you do.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you. My name is Steve Benitez. I am from EO Philippines, and my business is in coffee retail. I operate a chain of coffee shops back home.
Where did the idea come from?
Came from my travels abroad back in the 90s when I always found myself in coffee shops. I enjoyed the whole experience. And one day when I was on my way back home, my friend said, why don't you bring this experience and share it with your community? Because it's something I really look forward to when I travel. And so that gave me an aha moment. And I said, yeah, why not? And so I did.
How'd you name the company?
I was inspired by a coffee roaster I met in one of those expos I attended. So he was very passionate. He was very engaging with me. He had no judgment. He just dove straight into sharing his passion with me about coffee. Just at the time when I was kind of like discouraged, right? Because I was a startup at that time, and he just inspired me. So 2 years into my business, I changed the name to Bose. Bose Coffee. His name was Bose.
Wow. What are some of the popular products?
So our coffee chain, it highlights Philippine coffee. That's how we differentiate ourselves from the international brands. So I think that's our highlighted product, Philippine coffee. Philippines is a coffee producing country. We produce all 4 varieties, and so we're very proud of it. And I'm trying to highlight that and showcase it so I can bring it into mainstream, elevate Philippine coffee to the global stage.
At this point, you've grown a chain right now. So as of right now, where can people find it? How many are there out there?
Okay, so we have around over 100 stores, and you can find it all over the Philippines and and Qatar. And this year we'll open in Dubai. And so that's where our next growth areas would be.
Steve, to grow to that level, 100 stores, tell people about some of the training, because there's a lot of staff involved, real people. These are locations. People aren't just buying a bag of coffee beans online. People are coming in for an experience. So I love your perspective on what do you do for training for the staff and for people who work there?
So first of all, I think from an entrepreneurial setup, we need to bring it up to a professional level. And so taking it to that level required me to really hire good people who can help me scale the business up. And that took quite a while because as entrepreneurs, we always wanted to have that control, right? And the moment I said, I can't do this on my own, I'm going to hire the best people. And these people I have right now, I'm very thankful because they just professionalized the whole setup, and everything is institutionalized, from training all the way up to expansion.
I want to hear a proud moment. I mean, it's anyone who started any company. It's a tough journey. There's a lot of challenges, and from what you've done, it's pretty incredible. What's been a proud moment when you look back on the journey of this company, like you said, from startup in the beginning, the first couple of years, to now growing to 100 stores and beyond? What's been a proud moment for you?
I would say that from the very beginning, when I was trying to conceptualize the whole model, nobody believed in it. Right? At that time, coffee shop experience was at the infancy stage. Even here in the U.S., it was mostly concentrated in some big cities and not all over the U.S. And so when I was thinking of bringing that back home, I said, that's not going to work.
A lot of naysayers.
Oh yes, and coffee, nobody will buy coffee at that price. It's given away for free after dinner or after lunch. And we're a hot country, right? And so people will not drink hot coffee in a hot country. And I said, why do you eat ice cream in the US? It's cold. Right? Yeah, so a lot, nobody believed in that. But I think as entrepreneurs, we have this unrelenting belief that it's going to work, right? So I pursued based on my guts. And in the first month of operation, I could see the naysayers cheering and said, I told you so, because it was really bad, right? So I couldn't even pay rent with the sales that I had. But then I gave a runway of 6 months, and I gave all the things that I have to do. And on the 6th month, I could see incremental sales, and that really encouraged me. And on my 8th month, I opened my second one.
Unrelenting belief, right? Where can people check it out online? Where should people go just to learn about your brand and what you're doing?
At
www.boscoffee.com.
How do you spell it?
BOSCOFFEE.
Steve, thank you so much. Live from GLC.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like 100 grand.